Okay. For those of you who were in class, we went through this. This is going to be module 10. All right, this is the mortgage worksheet. Okay. You download it, you'll come to this. Okay, PDF document. You can download this. You can get an understanding of what we're going to be doing here. Okay. These are going to be our variables that we're going to use to create a table. Okay, so go ahead and open up a table. Let's see. Oh, here we go. This is the one that I created in class. Okay. So I will also upload this here. Okay. Here is the notebook. And we'll upload this real quickly to module 10. I gotta sort this out. There it is. Okay. All right. Just link this real quick while I'm here, otherwise I will forget. Okay. All right. So go ahead and open up the PDF. Okay, this is again all your directions here, introduction to the table layout. So what we're going to do now is we're going to use Excel to create a table for us so that it can do some calculations. So we can just change one data cell to make everything else cascade. All right. So we're going to start with setting up our template. I'm going to start with a new one to go through this here. Okay. So let's see what we got here. I'm going to kind of zoom this way. All right. So I have a couple mortgage rates that I'm going to be looking at. I've got some information here about different prices that I could offer for this home. We're going to look at this scenario and we're going to say at different purchase prices, what might our monthly payments look like against a certain interest rate. Okay. So we're going to set up our table. We have a few options here. We're going to set it up this way. We're going to say, okay, so if we were to spend $105,000 on a house, okay, or 123,000. Well, we'll do 113,000. Great. Okay. And we just kind of want to increment this up. So the great thing about Excel, again, is that it does some of this incrementation for you. And so I've given two numbers here, and I'm going to now select both of them. I'm going to go to the bottom of the last one. I'm going to look for that little all black X, and I'm going to drag it out over this table here. Okay. So what Excel has done now for me is it is incremented by this difference. Okay. So if we were to say, what is this minus this, 800, well, then if we look here, each of these go up by 800. Okay. So Excel will do this with any series of numbers. Okay. What you do, it'll do it Jan, Feb. Okay. It will do it for dates. Right. It will even do it person 1, person 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. That's what's available to you. So these are the potential amount of money that we want to see if we were to get a house at this amount. What would it look like? Okay. And this is going to be our mortgage. It's going to be our mortgage. And taxes / insurance. And this is going to be our mortgage plus taxes and insurance. And PMI. Okay. So now we have what our costs are going to be sort of shelled out, and we're going to start to put some of our data into the spreadsheet over here to work with. So we've got various VHFA lenders. One that is in our area is the Northwest Housing Trust. They're really great. Check them out. They provide services to everybody in the community. All right, we're going to look at the Advantage Conventional, the Advantage Government, Move, Conventional, and Move Government. She is not yet. She will be soon, though, probably another hour or two. Okay, so then we have 4.00. Well, I just typed 4.00 in there and it didn't go away. What happened? Okay. Oh, yeah. All right. So if I wanted to change the number, okay, say I wanted to make this a percent because it's a percent. Well, what just happened? Well, a percent basically multiplies any number you have by 100. So if I wanted to change this to appropriately be 4.0, I would have to go in here and I have to change the amount to 0.04, which is 4%. Okay. Same thing for this one, 0.0375, 0.050, and 0.025. Okay. So now I want all of these to be percentages. Okay. But this doesn't help me. Now they're all 4, and over here they're not, but I put different figures in here. Why is this? Well, this is because it's showing you only to a certain decimal place. So Excel will always try and be helpful. There we go. All right. So you can either remove or add zeros, many as you want. Okay. Right here in this instance, we only really need 2. Right, but you'll notice that depending on how many decimals you have, things round, and so we want to see this level of granularity. Okay, so these are our, I'm going to merge and center this, these are our lenders. All right, I'm going to bold this, I'm going to give it some effects, and I'm going to give this an outer border. Okay, and then I'm going to do an interior. Okay. I'm also going to give this one a thick border so you can tell it's different information. All right, there we go. So now I've got this cute little table here. I could even, come over here and make this an actual table. And then I get some additional table options for what I can do. I can change the color on it. Maybe you have something in specific you like. So you can kind of do that. That's where you would find those options. But now, so that data is there. Okay, next, let's go back over here. What other information do we have? Okay, it has property taxes. So some fixed items that we have. So this is our variable options. Okay. And then we're going to do another little table here, and this is just going to be our fixed. Okay. So one of our fixed costs is going to be taxes. which we know are $3,050, and these are paid. This is annually. This is the amount. However, one thing to call out about taxes is that they are paid as part of your monthly mortgage, often to your lender, who they take them up front, basically. So you'll make an initial payment to escrow at close, and then you will pay into the next year, basically moving forward. So $3,050 annually would equate to a monthly payment. I'm going to do equals. It's a great thing about Excel is it can give me calculations. I'm going to go up here, say, well, I want this divided by 12 because that's how many payments I'm going to have each month or each year. Okay, so here are my total annual and monthly tax amount. So I'm going to merge this just so I know it's together. I'm also going to format it just so it's, kind of center. It's easy for me to do. I'm also going to make these dollars. I'm working in Excel. This is one of the reasons that it's very nice. Okay. All right. I'm actually going to copy this over here. All right. So I've got put a border around it just so that we have some visually distinct information and we know what is posted. So one of our fixed costs annually is always going to be our taxes. Another fixed cost that we are going to have is our principal and interest. So this is a scenario assuming that you're not putting any money down, really. You're getting assistance from down payment assistance. So we're going to say property and PMI is your private. I believe market. I'm going to look it up real quick. It is PMI on mortgages. Private mortgage insurance. So this is basically the charge that the bank gives to you for trusting you with this money. So this equates to, what's it? $125 a month. Okay, I'm also going to make this $1. Okay, this is also monthly. Okay. I'm going to format this guy too, just because it's nice to have it all. Give this a little effect in the back. There we go. Okay. So next, we're going to have some down payment assist. Okay. This is because I went through that home buyer program and they're going to give me a one-time grant of, gets 5,000. Let's see, $5,000. And in this one, it says to do these increments by 5. You can do any increment you want, as long as you demonstrate that you can do this. So, okay. Actually, I encourage you to do it that way. All right. So now we're going to start to look at some of our scenarios. Okay. The assistance is a one-time payment. I get up front. Okay, now my table is all kind of standard. It all looks the same. Do you have anything else I need to consider here? $5,000. Got this. I've got my property taxes, 4 possible interest rates. Okay, some things to consider. Payment returned by payment includes principal and interest, but no taxes, reserve payments, or fees. So we're going to add those in afterwards. Make sure we're consistent about the units, okay? Because it has an impact on how that's calculated. Okay, there we go. All right, so these are all now set to dollars. These are set to percentages. And I have my sort of, these are my offer scenarios up here. These are offer prices. Okay. And these are my 3 elements that I am going to need to be aware of that I will be paying. Okay. All right. So now what we're going to do is we're going to set this up with our first. We're going to say scenario up here. And then we're going to do equals. I'm going to tell it, look at this cell. Okay. Now this same amount, the same number is right here. Okay. I could even go like this. Oops. String these two together. Get to it. There we go. Concat. I could say this. And this. Oh, well, let me do that. No, I don't think so, hun. I guess it's only going to let me do that. Okay. Let me see. No, it won't let me do that. Okay. It's basically you can concatenate these two. You can use what's called concatenate function. And it'll add these two things side by side. But what I really want is I want like a space in between them. So I can designate them as 2 different things. There we go. Okay. So to designate the space between them, I entered this little formula here. So I did equals concat. So string these things together, open parenthesis. The first thing I want to concatenate, which is this right here, the lender. And then I want you to give me a space in between and then tell me their rate. But it didn't keep the formatting here. So the cell does not see itself as a percentage. I've basically created now a general text field instead of a percentage. So I could have done it that way. I can also say equals this guy and equals here, and then it shows the same thing. Okay, so these are 3 ways to show this information mirrored right here. All right, so this is our first scenario. Right? So our mortgage, our payment, so I'm going to say equals payment, get my function. Okay, I'm going to actually open this up, get my help here. So if I click on function, if I click on this little FX right here, it'll open this up for me. Okay. So what this is this is a way for me to tell the calculation that I'm giving it, this payment calculation, where to look in this sheet for that information. So the first thing is my rate. Okay. So my rate in this case is going to be 4 divided by 12 because there's 12 payments a year. So this is my annual APR. Okay. Annual APR. Okay. NPR is the total number of payments for the loan. So the total number of payments for the loan are the number of payments I make over the number of years of the loan. Oh, and actually we forgot the number of years of the loan. So we're going to, hold on, let me close out of this real quick. So this is often called the terms. It's 30. And this is a regular number. We don't want to see any zeros because it's a nice whole number. This is years. And then this, we will call this equals 30 times 12, because 30 years of making 12 payments, one each month, means payments. Okay, so I'm gonna merge and center this one, get it set up so it's its own little thing too. Okay, you know, and I'm adding these formatting things myself to give it some visual appeal. You know, this is, you work with it as you can. You can add some things and kind of show me where you're learning how to do different skills. All right, let's go back into our payment now. So equals payment. Okay. All right. So now I can either manually type this here, or I can get the assist with the function builder. Okay. I can say, show me all functions. I can search through here. I can see what each of these do. Okay, we have absolute value, which we're going to use in a little bit. We have average too, what we're going to use. So we'll have a couple things that we'll use. Okay, so, I'm going to do it again, equals payment. Open this up. All right, so my rate again is this cell, or this one I could have clicked here, but we're doing it based on changing these up here for us, incrementing them. All right. Divided by 12 payments a month, annual APR by 12 payments a month. All right. NPR, total number of payments of the loan. So you can, in here, I'd like you to do 30 times 12. Okay. Now, we've already calculated it here too, so it's there for us, but let's do it in the calculation. Okay. Next one is PV, is the present value total amount. All right. So how we're going to calculate this is we're going to look at the amount that we're offering minus our down payment assistance, because that's what we're getting as an assist. Okay. Oops. Okay. All right. So that's how much money we're taking out totally. 105,000 minus the 5,000 in down payment assistance. Okay. The future value, this isn't relevant here. We're going to do 0. Okay. But the type here is 1 because we're immediately starting a payment. All right. Done. Oops. I need to move this here. There we go. Okay. So this, now we've added all these things. 0, this would come in for like a car, for example, if you want to learn how to amortize, but it's not important here, but your type is important right here because you're immediately starting your payments. And so that will have an impact on how interest accrues over the life of your loan. This is true for any loan, student loan or car loan, what have you. Okay. So I said done. Now it's done the calculation for me. So I'm going to drag it across now so I can apply it to all of these. You need anything, baby? Okay. You want to hang out? I'm almost done. All right. So now as we see here, this value, each time it's going to increment. When I drag this over, it basically took each value, it took ED, ED. It took the value from here, D1, and it became E. This one's F, G, I. Okay, it kept the number the same, but what I need to do now is I need to tell Excel to fix this. So you always want it to look at D1, okay? Or we could do a different scenario where we use this one too, okay? So we'll say fix this, all right? And now let's try it again. Oh, it's still an error. So what else do we need to fix? Well, which data will never change? K14. K14, so this is a grid. Come across here. So K14 is 30. So that's that 30 years is never going to change. Let me fix that. What about B3? So that's this one. So this is going to change each time. I want to leave that one. I'm going to fix this one. And now let's see if that changes things. There we go. Okay. So now it incremented properly this way. All right. Now we're going to look at, so this is what just our basic mortgage payment would be if we took out this much money in each scenario, not including our taxes and insurance or our property, private mortgage insurance. So now we're going to add in the amount that we're going to pay in taxes each month and insurance. So this is going to equal our mortgage payment plus our taxes monthly and our PMI. So I'm going to do plus, I'm going to open parentheses to make sure that I have a good clean order of operations here. Your PEMDAS coming in handy. Enter. Oh wait, how is that possible? How does my payment go down? Well, as you notice, this is red. So this is seen as a liability. A payment is something that you owe. So one thing we can do is we can tell it we want the absolute value actually. So, hold on. You can also multiply by a negative. It's up to you. So I'm going to do it at this level though. So I'm going to put this payment calculation we've done inside another function. Okay. I'm going to open this up, show all functions. I'm going to look for absolute. Okay. ABS because the absolute value of a number. So this is a negative number right now because it's seen as a liability. So I'm going to return the absolute value of it, which would just turn it positive. Okay. So this equals ABS, open parentheses, and I'm going to close my other payment in there. Look at that. All right. So now it's going to do the same thing across here. I'm going to just color it red. So it's up to you. You can do it that way, or what you could do is you could come here and you could do it at this level. So you could say equals the absolute value of the number above. That way, you know, any future calculations we may build in don't get affected. All right, let's do it. Same thing happened again. What do we need to fix? Well, we need to fix K11 and K12. So let's see if that fixes it. Looks like it did. Okay. All right, last one. Now we're going to add, oh, so this one was just K. This was just the property taxes. My bad. Okay. As I calculated here, I also, I did the monthly breakdown already for taxes in this cell for us, but we could have done it inline in calculation by selecting 10 and then dividing by 12 in here. We would have gotten to the same exact number. The different, oh, no, we wouldn't have. K12. K10. Divided by 12. There we go. Okay. Now, I'm going to do this amount plus PMI. Enter. Bring that across too. Same issue again. Keep forgetting. Let me address it. Okay. So now I've broken out these scenarios of what my payment could look like. Okay. All right. Here we are. This is if I have a 4% interest rate. What happens if I change my interest rate? And I say, actually, no, I want to see this other rate instead. Well, my payment went down. So what you're going to do is you're going to take this table that you've now built, okay, and you're going to reproduce it for each 4 of these scenarios. Okay, so I'm going to do a big old copy and paste. Okay, oh, well, what happened here? We gotta update things a little bit because it tried to jump us down. So what we want to do is we want to keep source formatting. There we go. Okay. There we go. All right. So now what we're going to do is we're going to come over here and say, well, you went to the wrong one. You jumped down. I didn't want you to jump down. So what do I need to fix here in this one? Well, let me go ahead so that I don't have to do this each time is I'm going to fix both of these. Okay, so that's one. And I can address the individual cell later. Okay. I'll do this guy here. I'm going to make sure that I have also these. Okay, and the same thing here. Okay, so that's one. These guys aren't going to change. Now let's see what happens. Oh, let me get rid of this first. Okay. All right. I'm going to paste this. Okay, it still didn't take it. So D9, D1. Okay, so that one I wanted to do. No, I didn't want that to change. So I want this to go to D9. Okay, so this instead needs to switch to K4, which is the next interest rate scenario. Same thing with this. J4, Q4 here. Okay, so now we're starting to look at our second scenario. Now let's check this out. Okay, so D9, okay, times 12. So that's that's one of the first problems. So we needed to fix the number 2. Okay, we didn't fix the number. So it's going to be, so now D9 works. Okay, so K14. Yep. Yeah. Yep. There we go. Okay, here we go. All right, so D9 is correct. That's not going to change. By 12, K22 is no longer correct. So let's see what this is. So K22, so it's pulling from data right here. So let me update this. Okay, so again, my MPR is the total number of payments. So I'm going to go ahead and just select K14. Okay, and then I'm going to go check this one too, because I want to be getting the assistance payment here instead. Okay, oops. All right, there we go. That's a little bit better. Okay, and then we need to update this table too. So B12, that's correct, but K18 no longer correct. So again, this is my tax amount. Okay. Go ahead and update that. Drag it across. Oops. I gotta make sure that I've fixed the K. So yes, it's a little bit to set up, but once it's set up, it's addressed. Okay. And we're doing this one here too. Okay. All right, now I've set up 2 scenarios. I'm going to do another scenario. Copy, paste. Okay, same thing happened again. So let me go back into my original to avoid this next time. And I'm going to fix the number too that these are coming from. So that way, hopefully, I won't have to do it again. Okay. Now, just for good measure, I'm going to drag that across each time. And I know this does seem a bit tedious. This is part of, setting up a good spreadsheet. But then from here, we should be able to pretty quickly, by updating this, there we go. Just now updating one field. Okay, I'm going to just delete this guy. I'm going to shift this all up. Okay, I'm going to double click in between the two to adjust them. Here we are. All right, one last time. Let's see if I've now gotten everything I need kind of in there. Or if I just update this one, it does give me what I want. There we go. So this is what it's going to look like when you are done. Okay. I will have set up a data to look at a 4% interest rate, one to look at 3.7, one at 3.0,